Word. Well, then I dare say, madam, you may have never had a dream. Come on, man, that's a brittle spirit.
Some people just aren't built for it, bro. Like, some people really just aren't built for it. How bad do you want what you want? It's not because, because other people don't need to come up behind some hidden knowledge. I'm going to let you know exactly. There's losers out here that will just call you to your face. Do you want to be a comedian or entertainer? Like, how bad do you want it? Because I brushed past that because I don't have a brittle spirit. That has a brittle ass spirit that he needs to try and shake me out, because that's all they do. This motherfucker that I did the Valentine's Day show with. You guys are the beautiful people of this channel, of my comedy career, and it's only gonna go up from here, bro. I'm telling you. So whoever is a part of this initial, I think right now at the time of this recording, we're at like 340 something subscribers. Like, y'all are the originals, and I will never forget y'all. You know what I mean? Anybody before 1,000, I will let you know right now. My debut comedy special, Black Zeus Self-Portrait, is available early on my Patreon, which is also just launched. Like, there's another thing I'll kind of get into here. Obviously, I've been promoting myself, like maybe not necessarily on the podcast that much, but in the comedy game, if you look at my social media and shit, even if you look at the YouTube channel, the tagline for all my socials is the stand-up comedy villain. And this is kind of the persona I've decided to fucking take on. Because here's a fucking pro tip. You guys are dumb as fuck if you're sitting here thinking, especially, and this is mostly to the comedy community. So like, if you fucking are judging me based off an online character versus how we actually communicate and I treat you in person, then you're fucking delusional and it doesn't matter what you think at all. You know what I mean? But what's sort of started to happen, because what I realized is, oh, okay, everybody who's successful in the online social media platforms takes on some sort of persona or personality that is extra on top of their comedy shit. And I don't necessarily want to do that. I tried making skits here and there. You can go look it up, bro. I was in a sketch troupe at the beginning of my comedy career. It's awful. You know what I mean? Like, I'm proud of it, but it's awful, you know? And it's not even awful, but it's awful.
Yeah, that detective skit.
Yo, go fuck yourself, nigga. I'll pull that shit up right now. No, I won't. But maybe next week we'll watch that shit. Or maybe I'll put it at the beginning of this episode or something. What was I even saying? The fuck?
About the guy, and then... So, like...
No, the stand-up comedy villain shit.
Yeah.
So the villain persona is pretty much what I've decided to take on as my online social persona. It does not obviously negate who I am as a person. I'm not a negative person overall. Everybody who knows me will attest to that. The reason that this fat fuck that I'm talking about, and that I'll get back to in a second, has hated me from the beginning, not just because I have a stage name, because I have the actual charisma to carry a stage name. This fat, like, bruh, it's crazy. Like, bro, these guys, literally the disrespect they would show me from day one is like, sabotage my sets, bring me up on stage as my actual name. The audience has no clue what the fuck they're experiencing, but these guys would literally like try and pull some bully tactics and be like, coming up to the stage and then look away from the audience and look at me.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And say, literally with a fucking goofy, nerdy white voice. Like, and I know it's bullet, bro. These people are so sad inside, because when I first encountered them, I was still going through the motions of like, bro, I've existed in a very harsh life, you know? And this isn't a boo-hoo story. This is my own personal story. It's not to make you cry or to give sympathy or whatever the fuck. It's just what it is. Like, I literally had homies die in my life for me to realize, fuck, I got to get away from this life and do what's actually in my heart. And that's when I started comedy and all that shit. Like, people don't get this, because once I entered comedy, here's another thing, bro. A lot of niggas, and in comedy it might be condensed because the scene is just like, it's a smaller scene. There's less opportunity. So it's a lot more like fuckery, bro. In the States, there's a bigger audience. There's more stages. There's less need to shank niggas on the way up. Okay? So I'll just put it that way. But when I was coming up, bro, fuck, I lost my place again. Damn.
the people that were there in the beginning, they were
I love you, bro. Thank you. And this is why I'm not smoking weed on this episode, because I knew if I did, it'd be a lot of niggas that get into the comedy game are fucking loners, bruh. Loners. I don't even want to say necessarily losers. A lot of people have no community and they're looking for a community. And they're like, oh, I'm funny, or I like to tell rape jokes, or I like to tell fucking dumb, fucking stupid, meaningless shit. Because a lot of it is like, there's a stigma that comics are depressed and sad and all this shit. It's like, well, like, I started to see why this stigma comes around, because it's a lot of people, it's a lot of loners looking for community, and then they join a community where they big each other up, but they don't have talent. They literally just big each other up. Because if it really was about talent, bro, there would be no room for fuckery. There would be no room for like this lower level mentality shit. It's a lot of sadness, like, because you come in young. It's a lot of sex, drugs, rock and roll. It's a lot of looking for community, and then you build community off of sex, drugs, rock and roll, and then you start to come up, and then a couple of you get really good. So then the ones that get really good, are now propping up the rest of the group. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They're bringing them on road. They're fucking opening for the ones that are getting really good and shit. And then potentially you have a situation like where Cat Williams is like, why would I go on Joe Rogan? He has 6 unfunny comedians he's trying to promote, which a lot of people say is like, a lot of the guys he put, look at fucking Brendan Schaub, bro. The whole reason that nigga started comedy is because his friend said, yo, you're funny. You're a funny guy. You should do that. No, like, fuck that. That's what I'm talking about. It's a lot of yes manning, bro. And I don't even want to like Rogan's a guy, you know, but Schaub is not a comedian, bro. You try and watch that 1 hour, 20-minute special. And I don't mean that it's 1 hour and 20 minutes. I mean, it's a 1 hour comedy special that he edited down to 20 minutes, because that was all that was, like, I'll just say palatable. And even that, I tried to make it through, bruh. So it's a lot of that, bro. It's a lot of Brendan Schaubs out here that are bigging each other up. So I never was about that already coming into the game. I was at a point in my life where I'm like, okay, I got to figure my shit out. I got to be honest with myself. I got to rid myself of all this bullshit that's not really serving me a higher purpose. Comedy has been there my entire life. I've always been drawn to comedy. I was watching Carlin at age 10 and shit. Like, why aren't I giving this a go? And then I had a situation in my life that gave me some downtime, and then boom, I started improv, and I'm like, improv is all right, but it's not it. And then I got on mic, and I never looked back. But in the come up, in my 13 years, like, because I was switching out comedy, especially like in the city that I came up in, Hamilton, it's like a blue collar town. Yep. You know what I mean? So a lot of blue collar guys, white dudes out the wazoo, a lot of weird fuckery. You know what I mean? And I was with the shit for a while. I was around. I was doing the things that I was supposed to do. I was doing the sex, drugs, rock and roll, bro. I was partying with the guys because I thought that's what I had to do. But again, I'm coming out of a personal situation in life where my homie died for me to realize is like, oh, I got to actually go down a different path. And then for me to start comedy, you know? So I'm actually in the phase of character building and actual like straightening my back out and having a spine and puffing my chest out and becoming the man that I am right now. Like I was very much on that path. So over time, I just started to click out of the sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And that was the majority of the scene when I started, okay? 13 years ago, the Canadian comedy scene was much smaller than what it is right now. And before I started, it was even smaller, you know? But since the advent of social media, everybody's a fucking comedian now. And the scene actually for a lot, in a lot of ways is a lot healthier.
Okay.
And I'll explain this in a minute. But me trying to pivot out of being a negative person, fighting and all this shit, I'm like, yo, fuck it, bro. Why am I fighting my nature? Why am I going against the positive person that I've always been? Oh, I know, because it always got me taken advantage of. Let me correct that. Why do I always want to fight? Oh, because I got all this anger. Why? Let me correct that. And as I started to do that, I just started to see how everybody around me is just unhealthy as fuck. And nobody really wants to fucking sit around and talk about getting better and all that shit. And I'm not a fucking guru or any of that shit. As much as my friends love to listen to me talk about progressing and stuff. Like literally my friends will stop and listen to me like I was a school teacher. But nobody actually wants to do that work themselves. It's tough. you know? And for me, it came by force. It came through death. It came through literal death, you know? And even another incident. So I'm not even sure that just my friend dying would be the thing. Because before that happened, something else happened that really catapulted me into the comedy thing. Like, I had already started comedy by the time my friend died. What had triggered all those events, like, pulled me out of the life that I was living and the people that I was around, you know? I grew up in a single black mother household, but statistically, I'm supposed to either be a thug or gay, my nigga, and I'm a comedian. I made it out. I made it the fuck out. All right? Like, I fucking went down that thuggish, it's the thuggish, ruggish bond. Ice JJ Fish up in this bitch. It's the thuggish, ruggish bond. Like, so I just didn't have time. Around 5-6 years in to comedy, 7 years in, I started to really click out. I'm like, yo, all these people, and there was distinct moments, like when I moved to Toronto, all the niggas that I came up with, you think any of them called me? You think any of them fucking reached out like we were actually real homies? Fuck no. Fuck no. Maybe one or two of them. Maybe one or two.
Like
of
the
them.
ones that were initially
the ones that were in my clique.
Yeah.
The ones that I came up with. Bro, I can't, like, the whole idea of my persona being the villain is I got my nuts dragged, nigga. Like, Chappelle has this beautiful quote in one of his comedy specials where he talks about, I think it was actually in Bird Revelation, the one that I'm always bigging up, the one where it's just in the belly room of the comedy store and he's sitting on a stool and it's mostly like stories of why he got out of the game, like when he turned down that 50 mil and all that shit, and he's talking about the book Pimp by Iceberg Slim.
One lady said, Louis C.K. masturbating in front of me ruined my comedy dreams. Word? Well, then I dare say, madam, you may have never had a dream. Come on, man, that's a brittle spirit.
Some people just aren't built for it, bro. Like, some people really just aren't built for it. How bad do you want what you want? You know what I mean? Some of those women that went through that Weinstein operation wanted the success that they wanted bad enough to be okay with dealing with that situation. That's kind of where he was coming at. You know what I mean?
I know it sounds fucked up. I'm not supposed to say that, but one of these ladies was like, Louis C.K. was masturbating while I was on the phone with him. Bitch, you don't know how to hang up a phone? How the fuck are you going to survive in show business if this is an actual obstacle to your dreams?
Like, it's a fucked up game. And I knew how fucked up Hollywood was and showbiz was before I even joined comedy, because I'd been listening to niggas like Chappelle. I studied the game, bro. When I say I grew up on comedy, like, I grew up not just watching comedy specials. Like, what? These niggas are literally philosophers to me, at least the ones that I look up to. I got Patrice on the wall here, George Carlin, Chappelle growing up, his Inside the Actor Studio, his conversation with Maya Angelou. Like, go watch that shit, because it's just dropping gems, and it's more in talking about the industry. Like, I learned a lot. Those Opie and Anthony tapes where Patrice is on, he drops so much gems on how he circumvented the game and how essentially anytime you take a favor, you owe. You know what I mean? And the bigger the favor you take in this game, the bigger the ask that you owe in return. All this type of shit, it kind of set me up mentally. I'm like, okay, I already know that the game is dirty, and I set my price going in. I'm like, I'm not willing to sell my soul for what? For fame? That doesn't even make sense. Let's figure this shit out. And when I'm talking about having a brittle spirit, like, nothing will shake me now. In the 13 years, like, you think some YouTube comments are gonna fuck with me, bro? Literally in the 13 years that I've been coming up as a comedian in Canada, I've had people that were quote unquote friends over and over repeatedly walk damn near nose to my face and call me nigger to my face. These are people that controlled my booking and opportunities. These are people that controlled my showcase opportunities and shit like this. And then they have the audacity to be like, why don't you come perform my club? Like, you're fucking retarded. You're actually retarded. This is what I'm saying. It's so delusional and filled with morons and hypocrites that they birthed the villain, bro. Like, the whole reason that I exist as I do today is not because because other people don't need to come up behind some hidden knowledge shit. I'm gonna let you know exactly. There's fucking losers out here that will just call you nigger to your face. Do you want to be a comedian or entertainer? Like, how bad do you want it? Because I brushed past that shit. Because I don't have a brittle spirit. That white nigga has a brittle ass spirit that he needs to try and shake me out. Because that's all they do. This motherfucker that I did the Valentine's Day show with, who's been hating on the fact that I have a stage name from day one, that's been disrespecting me, calling me my name over and over, like literally ganging up with other comics to just disrespect me to my face on stage. Like, bro, for this motherfucker to walk up to me like he's my fucking dad at a comedy show the other day and trying to fucking rile me up, because that is what he was trying to do, because they've done this in the past and it's worked. This is why I'm grateful. Alhamdulillah. Bro, I am that I am, my nigga. You can't shake me, you bitch ass niggas. You're fucking weak bitches. Weak bitches, bro. They try and shake you loose because they see something in you that they don't have. And guess what? He wasn't able to shake me. You know what I did? I walked right up to the producer. I said, I'm sorry. I know we were in communication. It's all good. She's like, that's good. Thank you. I need you to go up there right now. You know what I did? I went up there right now and I fucking murdered. And that bitch ass fat white boy sat in the back and watched the whole time waiting for me to fuck up. Or, because this is what they have done to me. And you know how a cheater does. A cheater expects other people to cheat them. So as they have brought me up on stage in the past to some fuckery, he was waiting for me to bring him up to some fuckery. Because guess what I did as I'm walking in? And he snapped, bro. I know he did. Because he's like, why are you mad at me? Bro, I treated this guy like a fucking bitch. I'm like, don't fucking talk to me like that, bro. Who the fuck, are we fucking friends? He's like, bro, why are you mad at me? Now he's trying to play all fucking coy. I'm like, I'm not mad at you, but are we fucking friends? And he shut his fucking fat ass up. Go hook yourself up to your sleep apnea machine, you fat fuck, breathing all heavy and shit. Fucking garbage human beings out here try to fucking rile you up, nigga. Like, it's crazy. You try, like, that's what I'm talking about. You have to be stronger than that. And now I'm actually vocal about it in my community. I have become the villain so that other niggas don't have to fucking... People really switched up, you know? But the people that are switching up on me on this villain shit are the people that have been talking shit about me. Why do I give a fuck? For 13 years, nigga. I just ran into a comic a month and a half ago, and I gave him the same energy I've been giving him from day one. And it was, I dap him up, and we crack a joke together, we smile together. It's all love, bro, because that's who I am. And once I entered comedy, that's 100% who I was, even though I was still fucking straightening out my fucking spine, puffing my chest out, because nice guys get trampled on. But that's not the case if you have a fucking spine, nigga. Just because you're a nice person doesn't mean you need to let people call you nigger to your face, bruh. And I feel bad for the younger version of myself that had to tolerate that, but also the version of me right now is stronger because of that. Because I didn't fucking fold or crumple, and I didn't give these guys what they wanted, which was my out, my exit, or me to switch up and go by my real name, nigga. I believed in myself from fucking day one. I had these dreadlocks for 11 years. Bro, and I looked goofy for 2 years. Everybody cracked jokes. Everybody said, you look dumb. Why'd you do that? Da 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 da. But I saw in the mirror what they are now. And now everybody's like, please, can I touch your hair? Oh, it's so beautiful. Is it yours? Bro, I will fuck your mom, bro. Get the fuck away from me. I will fuck your mom with these beautiful dreads. I'll fucking dangle them in her face. Oh my God, and mesmerize her. And watch, yeah. These fucking bitches, bro. So I run into a comic a month and a half ago, and we're dapping each other up, and I'm giving them the same energy. And because I haven't switched up, they have no reason to put dirt on my name, especially now. Before they would talk shit about, like, because I was outside of the scene. I was always the nigga just on the outside. Like, when I was coming up in comedy, I wasn't fully in the Toronto scene. I was just outside of it. So the niggas in the Toronto scene didn't fully embrace me because I wasn't there often enough. You know what I mean? And then I had a goofy stage name and I was a bad comic. So I understand shit talking, bro. Like, even I was at a point where I was gossiping. But if you're at a point where you're gossiping, that says a lot about you mentally, bro. If you got to sit around a room and fucking talk about people that aren't in that room, and then the room interchanges, meaning other people now are in the room and that person you were just talking shit about is in the room, but other people aren't. So now you're talking about shit about them that aren't in the, like, you're pathetic, bro. Go fix yourself, you fucking weird losers, bro. Dante, I'm sorry you haven't said a goddamn word. I told you. Don't even worry about this episode. I got it on lock, nigga. Like, I run into this comic. We're having a good moment. And then he looks at me in my eyes and he's like, you know what, bro? I'm sorry, man. Because we really treated you like shit all those years. And I just looked at him, I'm like, I know. Because I knew it. Like, I knew it. I just wasn't fucking bold enough to stand on business, nigga. And guess what? I'm as funny or funnier than a lot of these bitch ass niggas that are telling the same jokes, that haven't progressed at all, that are worried about this gossip bullshit, that aren't focused on getting out of here, nigga. Because, bro, Canada is small potatoes. This shit means nothing. This shit is a training ground, and I'm looking to get the fuck out of here, bro. I got my black belt with stripes, nigga. I gotta worry about these fat fucks that can barely breathe trying to throw me off my game. You disrespectful pieces of shit. The villain exists because of the fucking community around me that existed when I was coming up that decided we're not going to embrace this nigga. We're going to talk shit about him. And then, 13 years later, this guy's actually really good and he's not leaving. I guess we should treat him good. I guess we should shake his hand now, even though we still kind of talk shit. Some of us, not everybody. You know? I'm bold enough to just fucking say it out loud. I don't give a fuck, nigga. Most of the community won't even watch this shit. This shit is for the fan base and the audience that I'm trying to build. Because I'm actually a comic trying to do this shit. What the fuck, nigga? Don't be a whack loser. Gossiping and worry about other people, nigga. Don't worry about that shit. Just focus on being the best version of yourself. People will talk shit. People will talk shit to your face, behind your back, in the comment section, under their breath, in their thoughts. They'll wish ill on you. Who gives a fuck, nigga? Because even when you're not good, and the words kind of sting because they ring true. Niggas were saying I was bad. They can't say I'm bad now. That same fat fuck was standing in the corner waiting for me to drop the ball, bro. But guess what I did? I brought every comic up like a fucking star, even him, because I respect the game. I don't have to respect you. I respect comedy. You can go fuck yourself. And then guess what he did? He didn't mention my name after I brought him up, but what he did at the end of his set, like he always likes to do, and give it up for Bro, go fuck yourself, bro. And because of shit like this, this actually affects money and all that shit. Because I big up right now the new guys, the new crop of comics in the Canadian comedy scene exist in a much healthier way. I find that the information is flowing between them. They're all sharing each other's posts. They're helping each other. And now the older guys are coming up with this mentality. They're finally, but it's too late for me in the Canadian comedy scene. And I don't give a fuck, nigga. I'll be the villain, bro. They all share each other. They all fucking big each other up. Do they fucking share my shit? I don't give a no. Do I care? It doesn't hurt me, bro. I still hit like on their shit because they spent all this time talking shit about me when I was coming up. And now they're trying to get me to be on the in crew or whatever the fuck. And I'm not having it. So it's like, oh, this guy, what's with the villain character? Nigga, you created the villain, bro. You literally created the villain. You created this shit. Now I actually understand what my place is in the comedy game. Because this isn't just in the Canadian comedy scene. Nigga, this isn't just in comedy. This is in every form of art, business, finance, fucking education. This exists everywhere, bro, because what you experienced in high school, unfortunately, doesn't end. It was like a small preview of what life is. Everybody gossips because they're mentally weak bitches. Because it's harder to look in the mirror and address the things that you have to do to fix your fucking life, to live the life that you want to and deserve to. But that takes work. And that's what people recognize, and that's why you talk shit. Oh, Black Zeus, oh, you da-da-da-da-da. Why are you the villain character? Well, this is, and guess what? It's time for all the real niggas to fucking come up now. You bitch ass niggas, you're seeing it. It's all falling apart. The social media shit's falling apart. The fakery is falling apart.
Yeah.
Even people's come ups are starting to get exposed. However you feel about it, there's a lot of videos now about Andrew Schultz and shit. You know what I mean? This whole social media wave is whack, bro. We talked about it last week on the episode. Got a bunch of weird comments on that video. People talking a bunch of mess. We were discussing an article that I read about did podcasts ruin the allure of stand-up comedy? And I agreed with it, even though we have a podcast. Mm-hmm. I still agree with it. And bro, I still imagine that once I do actually come up, my audience will understand. It's like, oh, I've done this stuff to build out the audience and to get out to the people, but I'm gonna scale back in a way that's still respectful to the audience so that they still get something. Because I still want to release shit, but it's not necessarily a podcast every week and all this shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But I finally found a lane. I'm like doing it with my nigga Dante. Like, we actually created a fucking beautiful studio space. We found a little lane. You know what I mean? There's channels out there talking about comedy left and right, but they're not doing it from the place of comedy. I'm a comedian. So you actually want to get like the inside scoop. Like, this is what the fuck it is. Yeah, I'm in Canada right now, but you can extrapolate this information everywhere. And it's time to get to the States. And the majority of the people that see this podcast and watch our clips and all that shit are all American. So salutes to y'all. What? I was just about to sing like fucking the Star Spangled Banner song. And the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air. Because that's where the fucking industry is. That's where the money is. And it's a lot easier to find your tribe because there's just so much more people.
Yeah, there's more people for the tribe.
There's more people for the tribe. So it's less of goofballs sitting around doing nothing, twiddling their thumbs and talking shit. You guys are the beautiful people of this channel, of my comedy career, and it's only gonna go up from here, bro. I'm telling you. So whoever is a part of this initial, I think right now at the time of this recording, we're at like 340 something subscribers. Like, y'all are the originals, and I will never forget y'all. You know what I mean? Anybody before 1,000, I will let you know right now. My debut comedy special, Black Zeus Self-Portrait, is available early on my Patreon, which is also just launched. Can you launch that shit onto the screen for me real quick? Yep. Black Zeus on Patreon, patreon.com/aka Black Zeus. We got all this launching. Scroll down for me real quick and let's look at the tiers. I only got 3 tiers right. Actually, I think I have 4. And I'm actually gonna restructure this. As of right now, it is the beautiful originals, the beautiful people, the gorgeous people, and scroll over for me one more. We got Supermodel, all right? Y'all are the beautiful people of Black Zeus, the podcast, of my comedy career, of all the, you already know that.